My name's Paul Godfrey. I started in a jingle studio, making adverts and jingles for radio with quarter-inch tape. And then I moved to a studio, a rock studio in the countryside, where I recorded a lot of bands from the Canterbury scene. I use a lot of plug-in reverbs while I'm shaping the sound. I start the way we work these days really is as soon as I've got a beat going and a piece of music, I'm already mixing. So from then on, I'm using reverbs. I'm already putting stuff in a space. I'm molding it as I go. And then by the time I get to the final mix, I'm using hardware reverbs. But I've printed springs, I've printed plates, I've printed Bucket Brigade stuff. I'm using, stuff like cinematic rooms. I'm using Seventh Heaven. For me, the real prominence of LiquidSonics and the reason that they make the best reverbs is they're just immediately the smoothest, creamiest, deepest sounding reverbs. They just make sounds better. And for me, anything that just makes my job easier is the winner. And I don't have to do too much tweaking. They just sound fantastic. I first used cinematic rooms on some orchestral stuff that I'd programmed. And to be honest, the programming kind of sounded okay. It was kind of passable. But cinematic rooms just opened it up and put it in this big space where it suddenly sounded kind of triumphant. I wouldn't say that cinematic rooms is just for post production. I think sound is for anything. I mean, half the sounds I use to make music are Foley sounds. I mean, they're post production, and I use them for drums. I don't think there's such a thing as a certain department for a certain tool. It's whatever you want to do with it. If it enhances how you work, then that's what you should do. Well, I think that cinematic rooms and Seventh Heaven both have completely different characters. With Seventh Heaven being similar to the Bricasti, you have those classic kind of rooms that it's modeled on, and it's more of a rock kind of room based thing. If you want to put all your instruments, if you want them to glue and sound like they're all playing in the same place, then that's great. Where cinematic rooms is what it says on the tin. I mean, it is huge. It's lush. It's all consuming, and it is like being in the cinema. I mean, it gives you that kind of tingly feeling.